Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is Mike Brenner coming to you with the Brenner Blast, January 28th, Monday, getting towards the end of the month. And you know what? This month flew by, and it was one of those months. I haven't done this in a long time, and I quietly did it. I kind of challenged myself this year to a New Year's resolution, getting back in shape, getting back into a routine, and so forth. Well, I've held up to the challenge the first couple of weeks. I got a little bit of a late start because we were traveling, but back in the gym and working out, and it's just kind of cool when you challenge yourself to something and then you stick to it. Man, that just builds a whole lot of oomph, by God, some grit, as they say. So with that being said, we're picking up some momentum, guys, yesterday, and this also is a great example of why it's so important, to get the plays in as soon as you can. Early line is the best line, no matter what. Any insurance policy against that bookie certainly goes a long way. Yesterday, we had the Houston Rockets in the first quarter, released it on the video at -4. That's what I locked it in at. Sure enough, that thing moved, and they didn't cover. It was a push for me, all right? But that's the importance of the early lines. Speaking of a first quarter, we did cash with the Cavaliers yesterday, -2. They got it done. I believe they were up by 5 at that first quarter. Michigan State on the full game, that was a push. Had that, it was -6. And then we had another big winner with Nova, first half. That covered. And the cool thing about that is the full game itself, they didn't cover, but they won the game outright, and I think the Nova Wildcats will continue to hold on to first place. So anyway, there is a method to the madness, and it is important to get those plays in early. Go in with the early line so you can stay ahead of that book. That's how you keep the edge. Yesterday, so we were 2-0 with 2 pushes. I'll take that any day of the week. The last 3 days, 10 picks. We've hit 6. We've lost 2 and 2 pushes. So with that being said, let's take that momentum. Let's ride it into Monday. Let's start the week off right, and we'll do it college basketball style. All right, guys, college basketball, it's a small slate today, but I have a 2-team teaser that I really looked into pretty deeply. I really like it, so I want to go over it. We've been at that edge where we're really going to pick up some steam in college basketball. This is that time of year as we move towards March Madness and also to all the division titles. I mean, I love it when it gets crunch time in college basketball. All right, guys, Duke is playing at home against Notre Dame. Notre Dame, telling you, this team has just really taken on a load of injuries this year, unlike any other in recent memory, and it's really caught up to them because the quality of what they do have left, the guys are getting worn down. They're running on a thin bench. Hell, some games 7, 8 guys are getting played. All right, Duke, on the other hand, wow, I think this is a great opportunity for them coming off a first home loss they've had in a long time. Duke is minus right now 14.5. You might see it at 14, depends on where it settles. All right. I like them on a 2-team 5-point teaser. I think they're just going to be too much for Notre Dame. Again, towards the end, I think they might wear them out. But Duke's not happy about that loss. They're at home. Notre Dame's banged up, beat up, and it's starting to catch up with them as we move on to the season. If you -5 off of 14.5, that'll knock it down to 9.5. So that's our first one on the college basketball 2-team teaser, which is adjusted by 5 points. The second school, small schools, large profit. Wofford is at home against Western Carolina. All right, Wofford's got this team's number. Wofford has really had a big difference in the strength of schedule compared to Western Carolina. The game is sitting -11 right now, so if you're knocking 5 off of that, that's going to give us Wofford at home -6. Again, Wofford, their strength of schedule, they've had to really step up, and they've showed some grit themselves. By God, they showed up in just damn near every one of those games. Western Carolina not only dealing with injury issues, but they got some off-court issues as well. That goes a long way. So that's the 2-team 5-point teaser that we're going to rock with Brenner today. College basketball, Duke -9.5 and Wofford College -6. All right, guys, let's get it at NBA. All right, I like this pick right here. Minnesota T-Wolves going on the road to play Atlanta. All right, Minnesota, they're healthy. All right, they're looking for some consistent defense. Jimmy Butler is back in, helped put an end to what they were going through. I think he makes all the difference. He just makes that team a whole hell of a lot tougher defensively, and he brings that outside weapon offensively also. But you're looking at Wiggins and Butler and then also Karl Anthony Towns. I'm telling you, this team's going to pick up steam tonight. They're in the thick of things. They know it. And they hold an advantage ATS the last 4 games against Atlanta. They're 4-0 ATS against the Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta Hawks, this is just one of them teams that's almost completely going through rebuild mode. All right, they have had so many different starting lineups throughout the year. It's hard to find consistency. It's hard for that team to gel. The only true consistent has been Dennis Schrader, and the kid does. He lights it up when he needs to. But bottom line, you're getting in towards All-Star break. A lot of teams tire out, especially the ones that know there ain't no hope in hell that they're going to go to the playoffs. And right now, that's what Atlanta's looking at. So that team's pretty beat up. They're tired. And as we get closer to All-Star break, you're going to see teams like Minnesota that can't afford to go in inconsistent. They're going to be in the playoffs. They got the talent. They got a great coach, and that coach is demanding. So they better step it up. I like it. Pull the trigger, baby. Minnesota Timberwolves on the full game. I locked it in at 5.5 early, but you know what? I put what line is out right now. It's -6. I'm very confident with it. Minnesota T-Wolves on the road. They're going to wear out Atlanta in the long run. -6. Getting it done tonight. That's our first pick in the NBA. I got 2 other picks in NBA, and they're in the same game. Miami Heat going to take on Dallas, and this has a lot to do with what I was just talking about with the significance of All-Star break, because a lot of teams, there's some that just mail it in, those that know there's no hope. All right, Dallas sitting at 16-34. They're just that team that between getting old and then dealing with some injuries to some key youngsters, it's just not looking good. 16-34, my money is on that team ain't going to the playoffs, and you got Nowitzki. Let's get real. It's probably his last year. Going to call it a wrap. And the team just kind of wants to get into that All-Star break to where they can recoup. As opposed to a Miami team, 28-21 on the year, okay? And they were in a funk, and I'm telling you, Eric Spoelstra, he knows how to psychologically get in that team's head. And the proof was in the pudding in the last game. He benched the starters in the 4th. They were losing. They came back to win after being down, I believe, 12 points, but came back with a big win, doing it with the 2nd unit. That didn't sit well with the 1st unit, and guess what? Spoelstra doesn't care. He knows that team needs to respond. They're going on the road, the starting unit tonight, all right? They know they're going to take out their frustration. We're going to pull the trigger in 2 spots with the Miami Heat tonight. They're just too deep for this team, and also they're too talented. First half is -1, and the full game is -2. That's right, Dallas. They haven't reached 100 points in over 4 games. Again, Nowitzki, bless his heart, he's tired. The team is injured. They're banged up. Herrera, he's not going to be going tonight. When you're banged up, you're 16-34, getting close to All-Star break. You don't care, for crying out loud. You're ready to wrap it up and just enjoy all that money you're making. Holy cow, went through some salaries last week. We're going to touch on that again because I had a hell of a good response about that video with the salaries, breaking down what these guys are getting paid. You know, it ought to be performance-based contracts for these athletes. They're no different than you and I in the real world with what we do, but we'll save that. That's a whole other show. All right, guys, let's go ahead and recap. Got a total of 4 picks tonight. First is a college basketball 2-team 5-point teaser. We're going to take the Duke Blue Devils on that. That's going to be -9.5 after the adjustment. And we're going to top it off with Wofford. All right. That's going to be -6 after the adjustment. Duke and Wofford on the 2-team 5-point teaser. Brenner style, baby, college basketball. And then we're going to have 3 picks in the NBA. Minnesota Timberwolves on the road have to get it done. Coach Tom Thibodeau style, baby, on that full game -6. And wrapping up with Miami, Eric Spoelstra. He's going to play doctor tonight. Psychologically get these kids' heads. He's going to pull it out of them. They're going to get it done. First half -1 and the full game -2. All right, guys, there's 4 picks. I like it. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope you had a safe weekend. I really had a relaxing time at some relatives' house. Kids got to play with their cousins. Just one of those weekends where it didn't matter what the results were. It was just fun to be around family. That's what it's about, guys. Pay it forward. Spend that quality family time. And also, along the way, reach out. Try to help somebody else out. There's just so many little things you can do that can make a big, big difference in someone else's life, regardless of what you're going through or what your day had consisted of. And I can guarantee you this, if you try that after a day you got up on the wrong side of the bed or you're off to a rough start, and then you have an opportunity to help somebody else out, I dare you, try it, because your day will flip as well, and it will won't go very good. Telling you, proof's in the pudding on that one. All right, let's have a great day, guys. Let's bet responsible. Let's beat that bookie, and let's build that bank back up with Brenner, because we're getting it done, guys. Let's take that momentum right now. You know the emotions there, and let's roll it into this week. Let's stay on top of that bookie, and let's hold the edge, helping another one along the way, paying it forward. YouTube viewers, thank you so much. Guys, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button to the channel. Hit that like button also, and if you will, tell a friend about it. Share this channel, the Brenner Blast, with somebody else so we can continue to help those along the way in an industry that's pretty damn tough. And to those that are making comments that aren't so kind, you know what? It's okay, guys. Throw it on me. Brenner can take it. You've got a voice. You're allowed to speak it too. Bottom line, though, nobody is pressing you and telling you got to make these plays, you got to bet these bets. But anybody that has been with those comments, it got a little more quiet as the winning starts to continue. Hey, join in, jump in, bet this thing, beat that bookie, because we're on the same team. We have the same mission to beat that bookie, and let's do it consistently. Have a great day, guys, and don't forget the Brenner Blast is coming to you, baby. Super Bowl week. God, I can't wait.